Germany offers free education. Why would a country do that?
Whether I came into education by choice or by chance. Nations have no boundaries. We create those boundaries. We need to have global etiquettes.
By 2037, we need new people to take over.
Creative careers are taking a front seat now.
5 years down the line, you will not even remember these results.
Education today is no longer limited to classrooms and textbooks. Schools are now preparing students for global opportunities, future cultures, and international exposure. In today's conversation, we are joined by the beautiful, dynamic, and a real visionary leader, Dr. Sangeeta Bhatia. And for my formal introduction, I had written this, but I would really like to add here beautiful not only outside, but from inside as well, to discuss how schools are shaping future ready students for the growing awareness around international education and why countries like Germany are becoming important destination for Indian students. This is Dr. Latika Chaudhary from Yes Germany, and we welcome you all to this conversation. To formally introduce you, Dr. Sangeeta Bhatia is an eminent educationist and a distinguished contributor to K 12 education for over 4 decades, both at the helm of the KIIT World School, Delhi, and at various policy makers and industry bodies. A recipient of the National Award for Teachers 2008 by the President of India through the Ministry of Education, Government of India, Dr. Bhatia has achieved numerous other national and international accolades in teaching. She has 14 papers published in the Royal Society of London. And if I keep going on with the introduction, I think today's podcast would only be about her introduction. Ma'am,
Thank you so much, Latika. Latika, people ask me this question quite often whether I came into education by choice or by chance. I'll say to begin with, by chance. But in no time, it became a choice that I enjoyed, I worked for, and I've still been enjoying. That's why I'm still working. For me, education, when I began my career, was more around academics, were more about achievements in scholastic domains, in making children look successful by joining in the elite premier institutions, because that's what every parent aspires for. And considering I've been running my schools in northwest and west of Delhi, people are more aspirational. People are more driven by their children making it to the best of careers. So that became initially the prime focus of my working. But in last couple of decades, we realized that children need lot more. They accomplished a lot more in materialistic world in terms of their successes in the worldly setups, but somewhere the peace eluded. Somewhere the purpose of being a good human was compromised. That's when we figured out while we're doing that, that should become a byproduct, but primary focus should be on creating a wholesome individual who not only learns to succeed in certain examinations but learns to live a life of purpose, not only accomplishes for self but does it for the society. To begin with, society, what is a society? First, for immediate surroundings, I'll say with as little as cleanliness around them.
yes.
That's very important. While we're doing all else, we need to have global etiquettes, we need to have global ethics.
That's so beautifully said, ma'am. And today's students, they just don't need global exposure or just degrees. I think a lot of what ma'am has added, it is a bigger picture that they have to look at. When we start this conversation, ma'am, I want to directly hear from you. Tell us a little bit more about the school.
As I told you, we are 60-year-old school. We started with a very modest background. Today we are in a beautiful campus and we have raised students from 1985 on for the board exams. And over the years, we have given students to the best of premier institutions, not only at national level, but equally good number at international platforms. Like students have been to best of universities like MIT, Harvard,
All the
name
Ivy Leagues.
all the Ivy League. Besides Ivy League, sometimes children spring surprises when they go to lesser known universities of UK, Europe, shall I say, even South Asian
Yes,
universities
very,
now.
very well said, ma'am.
And now, within our own country, there are many private universities which are coming up and giving a lot of opportunities to
Correct.
students. So, our students have been all over. It's a myth, must I say, that only elite go for international exposure. Because nowadays, I see that no matter what strata of financial background you come from, parents are always aspirational.
Yes.
They want to give their best. They can stretch themselves to any extent to give their best to their children.
And that's what even I wanted to ask also. How have the student aspirations and the parent aspirations changed over the years? Was it like you've been in, as you just mentioned, first of all, congratulations on the 60th year of the school, ma'am.
Thank
It
you.
must be such a proud moment for you and the whole group and the whole family. Uh, you've seen the journey over so many years. How the aspirations have changed over the past few years?
See, initially, people would concentrate on IT.
Right.
For them, success would mean a good package in an IT sector. So, those universities were taking the major chunk of admissions at international platform. But in last one decade, we see people are going for liberal arts, designs, vocational studies, interdisciplinary,
Yes, and creative
interdis-
careers.
creative careers are taking a front seat now, which was not on the canvas of these kind of options that were offered. And more universities are coming to India to give that kind of holistic exposure, and students are lapping it up.
Yes.
And initially, this was concentrated in smaller pockets, but now at all levels, because of the digital exposure, the students getting this kind of information on various social media platforms, universities reaching out to schools, and so many career counseling options that are being offered to students are giving this kind of opportunity for children to explore. And students are opting for liberal arts, for creative fields, for areas which are still unknown, especially with AI in place. Students are able to go for areas which are yet to be explored. Or, in fact, they are even opting for things which are not even there. And venturing into these unknown territories, I think, is the beauty of 21st century learning.
And I think where I would have asked my question, next question is your vision when it comes to preparing students for the future. It reflects in each and every word that you're saying, that how even the schools and people like you, when I introduced you, visionary, your vision of how you're helping students prepare for the future, you've already kind of added to that.
See, the basic framework has already been provided by a National Education Policy 2020,
Yes.
where we are not adding vocational courses, skill education, project based learning as salt and pepper, like the add ons. They are now integral, like mainstream
Part of,
part
yes.
of learning that, needless to say, is being offered at school. KIT is extremely proactive in bringing that as the base of learning, not as an add on of learning. Everything is around the holistic development and assessment, which happens for end of the year cycle of learning, is now part of the learning culture. It is no more a kind of stressful way of learning journey. It is more of a joyous way of learning journey.
Yes.
That's, I think, shall I say, highlight of 21st century learning. So that students are not living under fear or threat whether I'll be able to make it to a particular university. Now they're reassured that opportunities are far too many
Yes.
and no one is going to miss out, and no one does. I just met a student of mine who barely managed to pass his board examinations of class 12. Uh, as the world would see him, he was a low achiever.
Yes.
I just met him before you joined me for this podcast, and he's heading back to Budapest. He's settled in Hungary. He has his own art studio back home. He's working with 60 artists of the world and he has his own creativity to its best. So
And to
how?
tell our audience, it was not just the achievements of the student, it was still the values which he took in his 12 years at being at the school. I was still touched to see a student who's traveling back tonight touch ma'am's feet, take her blessings, and the way ma'am was interacting with the family, she knew everything about the kids, right from the whole family history, and the beauty with which she was talking to the parents, still offering help to help them settle and do well in life.
See, no matter where your children are, they remain a part of your soul for lifetime. And as you were talking about what Yes Germany does is help students undergo that 1 year of exploratory phase where children figure out that after they pass out of high school and before they take up their
The
studies
universe,
for
yes.
undergrad courses, they have that year of exploration. That's when their inner calling is best
Very true.
highlighted.
Nowadays, the schools, parents, the kids, everybody is looking a lot beyond academics also. How does your school support students?
See, as I said, we do not do this as a piecemeal approach.
Yes.
It's a part of a mainstream curriculum. I'll give you one example. When you walked in the campus, you must have seen we have grow bags. We have this horticulture area where the students are growing their own herbs, onions, potatoes, seasonal vegetables. So, this farm to plate concept is done through multiple clubs.
Yes.
So there's a club that grows these vegetables. Then there's another club that curates those, the culinary club. And then there's an enterprise club that sells it during lunch break.
Wow.
And then there is a club, Interact Club, that takes the proceeds of the money generated for the causes. And then there is a financial club, financial management,
Wow.
that takes care as to how it happens. And then there's a media club that takes care
Of
of the
how it's
entire
promoted.
gamut.
Yeah.
So, all different skill sets are honed and nurtured through one activity in the campus itself. And that starts very early in a child's learning phase.
Right.
It's wrong to imagine that children would start learning after class 8 or in senior classes. I see a lot more enthusiasm in primary children because they love to connect with the roots.
Yes.
They love to connect with money. They love to connect with how things are presented. Aesthetics, the presentation. So these are the things, which have to, because, India needs to strengthen the sense of aesthetics.
Yes.
And that's in a domain, no matter how educated or learned we are, that's one area where I feel as a system, as a culture, we need to bring in is appreciation of aesthetics. And that's what we're trying in our school campus.
So, how important are skill building sessions, seminars, or even career counseling sessions? Because what we were just talking, times have changed. Earlier, somebody who was doing a PCM, BTech was the ultimate thing, and long back there were only four kind of engineering, civil, mechanical, electrical, and a few. And today you talk of
Graphic
every
engineering, prompt
every
engineering.
exactly. I mean, AI only has so many
So
versions.
true.
Yeah. So how important are these sessions, the skill building things which you are focusing so much on? How much importance do you think it should really be given? Because your school is doing it, a lot others are still very.
Dr. Latika, I think you've pegged it so beautifully that now is the need to bring in career counseling because there's so many careers offered. Earlier, people had a very small window
Yes.
where they had to select from, but right now it's plethora of options and infinite options. So children are more likely to get drowned in that, shall I say, ocean of information that's around them. So to be able to make the right choice that maps with their skill set, that gives them, I treat this like a tripod what you're good at, what is it that you want, and the third leg, whether it's financially viable for your sustenance, is as important.
Very important
Yeah.
note for
So
our
it is like
the
I
tripod
see.
session. We must focus on all these three things. A very important
So,
part for our
number one,
listeners.
what you wish,
Yes.
you have to be good at it.
Yeah.
Okay, you wish you're good at it, but is it financially viable? So, all the three have to be equally placed. Even if one is imbalanced, the life comes crumbling down.
Correct.
So, that's one. And to be able to do that, we do need not only occasional career counseling sessions, it has to be part of the school calendar. It has to be spread over the year because
And
students
start
keep
at a very
changing.
early age also, ma'am, I
And
think.
Latika, children cannot peg only on one career option because this generation needs at least 8 to 10 opportunities because we are not raising them with linear mindsets.
Yes.
If they are being developed more holistically, the options also cannot be restricted to a linear way of working.
And to add that to ma'am, I think this is something very important which ma'am has just added, because students today are, entering a very highly competitive and a globally connected world. You cannot be successful in a linear fashion. You have to have multiple skill sets and multiple options also for to be able to reach where you aim to.
So it's very important that children should make good portfolio and
Yes.
revisit their portfolio over and over again and look at it as a child, how good they were in certain domains. Revisit those domains which they may have missed out in their subsequent years. And then, by revisiting that profile and that portfolio again and again, they learn to appreciate their own strengths. We appreciate the others, but sometimes we forget to appreciate our own individuality, which is most important. If you do not love yourself, if you do not have respect for your own identity, your own strengths, why is the world going to love you? Why is the world going to respect you? If you need appreciation from others, you have to first appreciate your own self.
So that is something very, very important. And to be very honest, ma'am, we've been interacting with a lot of principals, but this is something which is very unique, which has come from ma'am. And to take this only, especially for Indian students who wish to aspire and take international careers, where you get to study with students from across different nations, this becomes so important that you understand what you bring to the table, you understand what your qualities are, you build an environment where people love you for your strengths. And if, as ma'am so rightly said, that if you love yourself, you will attract that.
So, my request to all the students who may be listening or the parents who may be watching this podcast must realize that don't deprive of your children of these opportunities, which will definitely make them stand apart in a crowd. We don't know how, when, in what shape, but that is what will give them more happiness. That is what will help them define themselves better in due course of time. And children must pursue their hobbies. In old times, what were the hobbies? Doing crochet, yeah, knitting,
Painting,
painting,
cooking.
stitching, cooking. Now children have again opportunities where they can pursue hobbies beyond what a human mind could even perceive. So students must not hold them back
Yes.
by looking at others, by seeing what the world is doing. They should see what they are best at doing.
And taking that to the next level, ma'am, what's your perspective on the international education opportunities for Indian students?
Quite a lot. I would say Indians have best of everything, everywhere, and above all, our culture gives them an edge over others because we are more encompassing. We have a good knowledge base, which we are proud
Very
of,
strong
very
knowledge.
strong knowledge
Yes.
base. Number two, a value system is what the world needs and looks up to. We are by default a very disciplined nation that's ingrained in a system at a very early age, which when we see certain parts of the world is alien to their culture.
Germany offers free education to students in the public universities. And why would a country do that? Because they want good, skilled set of people to come and add to their economy. It is also said that by 2037, most of the people who are in the German government would retire and they need new people to take over. So that is why they're promoting the education and they're welcoming Indian students. And we all know that Germany is so strong in the industrial or automobile sector, or there are so many top brands which are made in Germany. And this is gives students industry exposure, practical learning, and a lot of things that really help them settle. And ultimate aim for any student is ROI. It's that value for the money that they get. Germany is emerging as a very strong concept and a nation for this.
Yes, Latika, I fully agree with you because as I told you that I had a year-long exchange with the kid, and because of that we've been visiting Germany. I have had at least more than 10 plus times I've been to Germany
Okay.
myself. And what I see is that they're very, very humble,
Yes.
family oriented, extremely cohesive family values, as deep rooted as us, very rich in their history, uh, and they've learned the lessons from all those global turbulences
Yes.
which have, put that scar once upon a time on Germany, and how they've bounced back and how they've taken the world along and how they've placed themselves on a global campus. Indeed, and also, people and students who've been to Germany have always come back to me with extremely happy and positive experiences.
Yes.
Whether they've been to Stuttgart, whether they've been to Munich, whether they've been to, and I know of some students of mine who are settled in Berlin, and they have such good things to talk about,
Yes. Yes.
and they have never faced any kind of discrimination. They've never been kind of on back foot because of the language barrier, because people are very supportive. So yes, and also this one strength that you've spoken about, that 1 year between the high school and joining the university, that gives them a lot of insights to pursue what they may like to take it as a formal career option. So that fluidity that children need at that age.
Because they're so young and tender that they don't
Yes.
understand.
So that exploratory year
Yes.
is something which is a take back for me for today's.
And in fact, our viewers know that in India the education is 12 years, but in Germany it's 13th year, and the 13th year is called the Studienkolleg, and it helps students learn the language, learn their subjects again, and be prepared for getting into a public university. And I am maybe repeating myself, but the education in public universities, as of now, there are no tuition fees because they want good students to come and contribute towards the economy. That's why the government is encouraging free education in Germany. And ma'am, how important is obviously practical learning and strong industry connect, which is, these are two major strengths of Germany. There are a lot of applied science universities where it's not just taught, but applied sciences is what the strength is. How important is it for general future careers? Because you've been into the education sector for almost all your life.
See, as I said, Germans are very good in designing.
Yes.
Yeah, whether it's their automobile industry or any other industry. I mean, you talk of appliances, machines.
Exactly.
The German appliances and automobiles are it's anybody's dream world over. Yeah, so what I would say is that even Indian mindsets are being attuned to such adaptations. Recently, we started having this composite labs in our schools where project based learning, experiential learning, where hands on, like this year,
Ma'am,
We
the smallest example you gave of the vegetable, even that's a hands-on learning on how to grow, how to sell, how to market.
No, even carpentry, we have
Yeah,
started
okay.
this year. We have started, the fashion designing in the
Oh,
campus
nice.
now. Yeah. And also robotics, because, the students are very fascinated.
Yes.
And even a space lab is being constructed now. So, with all these interventions, the students' mindsets are becoming more flexible. They're not looking at only academics as their future options. And Latika, must I share with you, each day we have at least one alumnus in the campus who comes to interact with the
This,
present
yes,
students.
very important.
And that role modeling,
Yeah.
every time students come back to India or having acquired their education outside, when they come back, they interact with students here. I think that is more impactful than
Very
universities making
so
their
true. Yes,
appearances.
so
So,
truly and so well said, ma'am, because the same is about, yes, Germany. As I told you, we've been into the German education market for 20 years. We've pressed a very strong foundation of trust and legacy. And what exactly you were telling about you is whatever is coming to my back my mind. We are attending wedding of our alumni. We are being invited to the when the kids are born. There is no city in Germany where a student is not there. There's no university in Germany where our students are not there. We have 24 offices across India and Dubai. And we are seeing a real changing trend in terms of bachelor students now. Earlier, it was usually do your bachelor's in India and go for master's in Germany. But there's an emerging trend of students doing their bachelor's also in
oh,
Germany.
yes.
And, like somebody like you who has always played that role model, here also our alumni guide them because they've been in that shoes. They were in the same mindset, thinking whether should I go here, there, which university to choose, how will I settle. And we are the only organization who also provides something like a airport see off from here to a airport welcome there. Once a student lands there, we click a picture, share with the parents that see your child has landed, see, they're being served a meal, put them in accommodations, help them settle, open all bank accounts, their blocked accounts, do arrange SIM cards, we help them with everything. And this really makes parents also mentally at peace
Oh,
that how, yeah.
absolutely.
And especially a 12th grade who's just a 17-year
Yes.
old, no, I mean, not sometimes not even 18. It's really important for the parents to understand. Suppose they're less than 17, we provide them with a local guardian, a German local guardian, because that is mandatory. So these are some of the things why students choose us over the years over others, because a lot of people are now doing Germany because of survival mode. But we've been official representatives also of a lot of universities.
So, one more thing which I feel is very important, and I'm sure, yes, Germany is doing, and as I experienced through my own children coming back and sharing with us, is they have their own local communities.
Yes.
So, let's say, students who go to Europe have a community where they come across, let's say somebody is in Netherlands, somebody is in Germany, somebody is in Prague or
Yeah.
Luxembourg or these. So,
It's
they
differently
have,
used.
so,
Yeah.
so within Europe also,
Yeah.
even if they may not be in Germany, all of them, some of them are there, some of them are in
They
neighborhood
move
countries.
out, yeah, or
So they have their own communities where they give that strength and support to each other.
yes.
And when you go away from India to any of the countries,
You need that.
so you need that community, that's kind of that interface that keeps them at bay with what's expected and what needs to be and what actually is. So all those gaps are bridged so beautifully and seamlessly.
Thank you. I would really like to thank ma'am
Pleasure.
for taking out your time from your super busy schedule and for all the candid conversations that we are not recorded here, ma'am. Um, not for the script, but you are actually an incredibly beautiful woman from your heart, whatever conversations. And I think it flows in the family, right from your parents to the next generation. And not only when I say family, it is your bloodline, but in each and every member of the school, each and every interaction we've had, even with the didis here and the bhaiyas, and even in the students who are not part of the system, who have graduated, moved out, their parents, each stakeholder, I think, is happy, and a lot of credit
Thank you so
goes to
much,
you.
Latika.
It has been a beautiful conversation,
Thank you.
and we would love to invite you again to interact with some of our students, to interact with some of our team members, because you're such a beautiful, motivated, and I think amazing person, that having you interact with the team would also bring a lot of positivity in them. And I think it would be really great for our team to hear you.
Always a pleasure, Latika. And now, as I shared with you, I am soon going to hand over reins of the legacy on these young shoulders in Anshuman, who's here. And before I conclude this podcast, I would introduce to the world
Yes.
this young gentleman who takes over this legacy with same value system, with same thoughts, with same mindsets, with same value system,
With same
to the
passion.
with same passion, of course. Anshuman, I invite you to conclude
Please.
this podcast. Kindly join in.
So, from one great personality, Dr. Sangeeta, to the second one, the one who's going to take over and take it over with the passion and the madness. Can I add that? And with wholeheartedly, Anshuman, congratulations.
you.
First of all, you're going to be taking forward the legacy, and it will be big responsibility on
will
your
be.
shoulders. Could you please introduce yourself to our audience?
So I'm Anshuman Kamra. By education, I'm an engineer, but I'm being currently trained to take over and act as a principal for KIT World School.
So, what are your plans, and how did you get into this concept of the school thing? Because being an engineer,
Right.
did you want to get into your own thing, get into a startup, or was this always your dream?
So as an engineer, I wanted to get some experience of working in a setup abroad, and then eventually joining the school industry, because I've grown up. Uh,
Correct.
what I would joke is that I went to Bal Bharati Pitampura, which is a school right next
You
to
didn't.
us.
You
I
weren't.
did not attend the school because we were of the opinion that there should be no favoritism, and I should have a normal childhood, growing up with peers who do not know I'm the son of the owner, or teachers favoriting
Yeah.
me. So I would go from one school and then after school come to this school. So from a young age, I had exposure to the school industry,
Right.
and I was always influenced by how my grandfather and my mother, my father, and my bua operated the school. So eventually, my aim was to join the school industry, but I wanted to get an exposure of the work environment outside, so I could also help the students, guide the students regarding what they can expect outside of work.
Great. And Anshuman, since you yourself are, you've graduated from an international university,
Yes.
how important it is for your development as a person, as a even professionally?
Yes, I think it's very important, and the education abroad, taught me a lot about life in a different context. In India, I was in a sheltered environment, living with my parents.
Protected, yes.
And living a regular life. But abroad, you were out there. You had to fend for yourself. You had to cook your meals. You had
Did
to.
you cook?
Yes, I did end up cooking. You could not just go outside and have every
Meal,
meal outside.
yes, every day. It was
So,
expensive.
It was expensive. It was not healthy.
Yes.
It was not something you would want to do to your body
Yeah.
in a long run. You understood different aspects of life. You understood the importance of discipline. As a student, as a individual growing up, you understood what was right for you, what was not right for you, by experiencing and by getting exposed to that environment. So learning abroad gave me that exposure, that freedom to discover myself properly, understand things that I value, and things that are good for you and not good for you.
And how do you think you would want to bring some of your learnings to the students of the school?
So I think one aspect that I think both learning abroad and growing up as an individual, I realized that the Indian education lacked was the freedom that we give to the students, the
Practical.
practical approach, the self-initiated
Yeah.
things. We just serve them a curriculum. We tell them, okay, after 10th grade you take science, so you have to do physics, you have to do maths, you have to do chemistry. These are your textbooks, this is what we will assess you on. You
There's
just
less of applied aspect
absolutely.
to it.
So you never actually understand yourself. You just do what you've been told to do through the textbooks. You prepare for the assessments that you're judged on. You never get a chance to, okay, let's do woodworking today, or learn a new skill today. You don't have that self initiation. So I would want the students to discover themselves in school, rather than just follow a linear path that we've decided for them.
And a few tips that you would like to give to our students, because grade 12th results are just out.
Yes.
Students who are still thinking whether they should, what should they do? A few tips for the students.
So first of all, I would say, irrespective of how the results went for you as students, 5 years down the line, 6 years down the line, you will not even remember these results. That is the first thing. They do not define what you become.
And
They
what you can become.
or what you can become. Like we just met the student who did not do so well in their 12th board exams recently, but is doing very well in life. And there's not just one example that we know, but several, seen students who don't do well on their exams also end up doing well in their lives.
And especially,
What
I
are
think, because you also went to an international
Yes.
destination,
Yes.
there it is not just, you're not representing just yourself, but your
Yes.
nation also.
Absolutely.
So I think there also it makes a lot of difference, and especially a message I think for for Indian students is, don't forget,
Yes.
and don't bring down the name. You're there representing your country, not just yourself or your family, but
Right.
the whole country.
Correct.
So, on this beautiful note of what was mentioned, we thank you all. We thank you,
Thank you so much.
so much for sparing your time. And, sometimes when it comes from people who the students can associate with, like you're a young, dynamic entrepreneur who's done it, who's been there, and now successfully would be taking over this to the next level. I think it's very important. You have a right role model. And on this beautiful note, we thank you so much and congratulate you and wish you all the best. And thank you, everybody, for joining us.
And this is something, must I say, I acquired from my father. My father was an educator the world should look up to and does look up to. He would always talk about upgrading yourself. He would always say, no matter what you're doing, you should always upgrade. And to him, grade would be G. The first alphabet was for gratitude. You must always have gratitude for what you've been blessed with. Then regularity is very, very important. That's R of the great. A's attitude of positivity. We see so many people who succeed in life, but eventually that success withers off because they do not have positive attitude.
True.
And that needs to be sustained for the lifetime. And D is dutifulness. Dutifulness towards yourself first by taking good care of your own health, of your family, of your community, of your nation,
Nation, yes.
and then say planet Earth.
Yes.
Because nations have no boundaries. We create those boundaries. The world is limitless, infinite. So, somewhere and above all, this is not possible without E, which is ethics and etiquettes. Because, no matter what we do in life, we must know how to conduct ourselves in public spaces, in personal spaces, in our lives, in each endeavor of ours.